Hello and welcome to the June 2020 MTFR Monthly Update. We'd like to start with personnel notes this month. On our first note is a welcome back to all of our volunteers. Effective the 1st of July at the latest, all of our volunteer members will be back and fully engaged in the MTFR system. We took the opportunity through the month of June and met face-to-face with 40 of our volunteers just to go over revised policies and go over the lay of the land, so to speak. So we are happy to report as of July 1st that we will be bringing back 4 live-in volunteers, 33 active duty crew volunteers, and 8 auxiliary members. And that is in addition to, we have 8 volunteer applications that are now pending that have come in over the last few months during the COVID crisis. So again, we welcome all of our volunteers back to active service here at MTFR. We're glad to have everyone back. We've also hired 2 additional part-time firefighters, Sam Welk and Joe Cox, and we'd like to make a quick introduction of those folks. Our first new part-time firefighter is Joe Cox. Joe works full-time for the City of Reading Fire Department and also rides as a volunteer at the Boyertown Fire Department. Our second new part-timer is Sam Welk. Sam is just completing his degree at Millersville University, formerly worked for the City of York Fire Department, and continues to ride at Roarstown. A few fleet notes for this month. Both of the tractor-drawn aerials have completed their yearly aerial testing. The refurbished TDA did have some minor issues, which are being corrected at this time, but nothing major that put the unit out of service. So that testing is complete for the calendar year. Also, 6 pump tests have been complete on all 4 of the structural engines, the rescue engine, and the tanker. We did have 1 structural engine that had some minor issues with the pump test. Those issues also have been scheduled to be rectified, and then all of that will be complete for this year. At this time, Squad 207 remains out of service. The remanufactured engine that was put back in that unit after the engine failed is still having some issues, so Squad 207 remains out of service at this time. Training notes for this month regarding the hazmat ops and hazmat tech refreshers that were canceled during the COVID pandemic. Those refreshers are not going to be rescheduled for 2020. We have chosen to stay with our February, March, April rotation, so those classes will not come back with an out-of-department instructor until 2021. What we are going to do for all of the ops and tech folks that need a refresher is we are going to run an exercise. We will probably run that exercise 2 times on a day in September. That exercise will allow us to test our ops personnel and our tech personnel at the same time on skills that are within their scope of practice. As the authority having jurisdiction, we have the ability to do that and count that as the yearly refresher. So Captain Bezick and Captain Bayshore are working on that exercise. That will be posted in the very near future, and again, that will serve as your ops and tech refresher for the year 2020. Monday night training will resume on Monday, July 6th in its usual format. Captain Bezick is also working on revising the second half training calendar for 2020, so watch for that in the near future. Also, the CPR and AED classes that were canceled during the COVID pandemic are also being worked on to be rescheduled, so if you are in need of a CPR AED class, that will be coming up in the very near future as well. Finally, we'll end with some COVID-related items. Here in MTFR, we are continuing our employee and volunteer screenings twice a day at shift change at 0600 and also at 1800 hours. So everyone will continue to get a medical screening when they come into the building. Also, in addition, for our volunteers, if you're working on a duty crew shift or our live-in folks getting back from work at a time other than 0600 or 1800, you will be screened at whatever time you come into the building. Also, one final note on COVID, the Emergency Services Health Federation has advised us that our QRS responses will go back to what they were pre-COVID. So the number of responses and the natures that we were taken off of during COVID are coming back. That, however, does not have an exact start date. Once the Health Federation notifies us of that, we'll put that information out. So expect our EMS runs to again go back to a regular type status. I think that's everything we have for this month for June. Again, welcome back to our volunteers. We appreciate what everybody does for us. Stay safe, and we'll see you next month.